Alright, so making this video, it's a 2007 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. I've been having issues with the cruise control. It's not that it goes out with LED taillights or anything. I have resistors built into them. So I've been searching around, and one of the causes is the brake switch module that's underneath of the dash by your brake pedal. So what I'm going to attempt to do is try to get this into cruise control. My specific issue is that it shuts off when it hits a bump, not when I touch the brake, not when I touch the gas, but just hitting a bump. So we're going to try to get this to work and see if we can have it happen. So hang on. Okay, so as we stated before, having an issue with the cruise control just shutting off by itself, specifically when I hit bumps, and now more recently the cruise control is not working itself. Now just keep in mind, it could be this lever here, which is actually your turn signal lever plus the cruise control. But before you get into this, which is a little expensive, the most common problem is the brake switch. So what I went ahead is I went on eBay. Again, this is an 07 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD. So what I would is went on eBay and I got the exact AC Delco part. This is a factory part. It is the GM factory original. I picked this up for about 32 bucks on eBay, which was the cheapest I found. So what came in the bag was this part here. Okay, now in this specific model it's this way. Okay, so you can see that the bolt actually comes from the other side. So when you look at your brake pedal, you're actually going to be trying to get the bolt from the left side, and I'm going to try to give you a view of that underneath of there. There's videos on how to uninstall this. I'm not going to bore you with taking this out. I believe it's a 10mm bolt that just holds this in.
At this point, I was
and then
wrong.
you have your wire
it's not a
harness
10mm bolt.
here.
It's just a
Specifically,
clip that
make
goes
sure
over
you
it.
check to make sure that the pins are exactly the same from the old one. Again, this was off of eBay. They said it fit my make and model, so we're going to hope it does. But let's get under the dash real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're under the dash now, and it's a little bit hard to see. I'm trying to get the best view I can for you, but if you see right up in here, okay, follow your brake pedal up, and the module is actually sitting up in here. Okay, so again, on my specific model, it's on the left hand side of the brake pedal. Some are on the right side depending on the year and the make. So again, as you can see, one of my issues right here might be that this green wire has pulled away. Okay, and that might be the specific issue that's going on. I'm not sure. So I just found this when I got up under here. Again, I don't know if I can get a good view for you. There is a loose wire, and this green wire right here is indicative of what goes up into your steering column. That is actually the same color that plugs into your cruise control. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to take the wiring harness out of the brake switch. I'm going to see if I can repair this. I'm still going to put the new part in just because I spent the 32 bucks. And again, it is an 07, so there's no harm in putting a new part in if you've already got it and you got it at a good rate. So I'm going to replace it anyway. But as you can see, like I said, it's on the left side of the brake pedal, and I'm apologize, I really can't get a better view of it from here, but it looks like it's the same clamp, and it's going to be the exact same 10mm bolt to take it off. Again,
and again, there's videos on
not a
how to uninstall these and reinstall these. I'm not going to bore you with that. So I'm going to get to taking this out and then putting the new part in. Like I said, I've already got it. Might as well take advantage of it. And we'll see if the cruise control fixes itself. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll come back and we'll see if it fixes. All right, just hang in, stay tuned. All right guys, so I did remove the dash panel and I did remove the lower panel. Unfortunately, on the 07 Chevy Silverado and probably up in years, it doesn't give you a whole lot of access. So went back to trying to finagle this. As I said before, you can see that this green wire is not attached. Now, if you look at the pins, okay, I've had an aftermarket alarm system put in where it cuts off the fuel, it cuts off the starting and all that stuff. So you can see where those wires are clipped, okay? So that leaves me to, where does this green wire go? Well, if you look at the pins, you can see where the ones are clipped off, and you can see that the last one is empty. So that's where this green wire goes. So we're going to reconnect that, and then we're also going to get that clip off of the switch. All you do is pry up on it and then you push down, okay, so that the clip actually slides and pops off. That's the only thing that retains that switch on there. It's not common on this vehicle to have the bolt, so it's a little trickier. That's the hardest part to probably get to and get done. So I'm not going to film that. There's other videos on that. But what we're going to do is we're going to fix this problem first, and then we're going to take the brake switch out. As I said, we're going to replace it since we're under here. I already got the new switch, and we're going to see if this fixes the problem. I think the loose wire is probably the cause, but as I said before, you know, we already have the new switch, so why not put it in? Again, this is a common problem on the 07 and 08s, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that. So I'm going to take care of this wire first, and then I'm going to put the new part in. Okay, so we'll be right back. Okay, so we got the old brake switch out, which is the top one here. You can see some grease on it. This is the new brake switch. So they line up exactly. The hardest part is getting this clip off, okay? You really do have to pry it off. I bent mine just to get it, you know, completely off the old switch rod. And then what I did is I just took a pair of needle nose pliers, put it back into position. You may have to do the same thing. As you can see, it's nighttime now. This has taken me a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to install the new brake switch the same way that we took out the old one. And once we get this on the rod, we're going to go ahead and install the clip back on. So this locks the new one in place on the brake rod. Okay, there is a groove for it, so it should just clip into place. You should hear a snap. As I said, I do have the green wire that is disattached, and I need to pop out the terminal and then reattach the terminal. But again, you know, it could be the wire issue, but like I said before, why not go ahead? Got this for 32 bucks off of eBay. It's a genuine GM Park AC Delco. So might as well just go ahead and take this out, since this is a common fail, and get rid of the old one. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to put the new one back in, and then we're going to get that terminal out and reattach that green wire, which is your cruise control, and finish up this project. So Just hang in there. Again, there's videos online, and I'm not going to bore you with removing this thing, but the hardest part is this clip. It will take you some time. Use a flat blade screwdriver. Just completely pry it off. Don't worry about bending it, because like I said, you can take a needle nose pliers, put it right back into position, and then you're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to put this new switch in and get that terminal fixed, and we'll see how this works out. It should fix the problem. Alright guys, so I did remove the dash panel, and I did remove the lower panel. Unfortunately, on the 07 Chevy Silverado, and probably up in years, it doesn't give you a whole lot of access. So went back to trying to finagle this. As I said before, you can see that this green wire is not attached. Now, if you look at the pins, okay, I've had an aftermarket alarm system put in where it cuts off the fuel, it cuts off the starting and all that stuff. So you can see where those wires are clipped. Okay, so that leaves me to, where does this green wire go? Well, if you look at the pins, you can see where the ones are clipped off, and you can see that the last one is empty. So that's where this green wire goes. So we're going to reconnect that, and then we're also going to get that clip off of the switch. All you do is pry up on it, and then you push down, okay, so that the clip actually slides and pops off. That's the only thing that retains that switch on there. It's not common on this vehicle to have the bolt, so it's a little trickier. That's the hardest part to probably get to and get done. So I'm not going to film that. There's other videos on that. But what we're going to do is we're going to fix this problem first, and then we're going to take the brake switch out. As I said, we're going to replace it. Since we're under here, I already got the new switch, and we're going to see if this fixes the problem. I think the loose wire is probably the cause, but as I said before, you know, we already have the new switch, so why not put it in? Again, this is a common problem on the 07 and 08s, so we're going to go ahead and take care of that. So I'm going to take care of this wire first, and then I'm going to put the new part in. Okay, so we'll be right back. All right, so again, the linkage bar that comes from the firewall goes actually inside of your new brake switch. Again, I applied some grease just so it slides smoothly, but you're going to put this inside first. Again, you can move that with the pedal, and then what you're going to do is move the pedal up into that hole. Okay, and then you're just going to slide the entire thing through that secondary hole on the other side. So there you go. Okay, so now I have the new one in place. I just got to put that retaining clip back on, and then from there, like I said, I'm going to work on the wiring harness, just fix that terminal. But you need to make sure that you put your the brake actuator or rod that's coming from the firewall inside of the new brake switch. Okay, it does not go on the outside, it goes on the inside, and then you put it all back together and put that retaining clip on. So we're going to do that now, and then I'm going to go ahead and, you know, like I said, fix that terminal, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so after finagling, having to swap out a terminal because the wire actually broke, I was able to get this new part put in, as you can see, and able to get the green wire reconnected and put into the harness, which I believe is probably the main problem. But I did put the new switch in. The only note I would make is putting the retention clip back on. It is somewhat of a job. Again, pry it open and just make sure that it's not as tight as what you took off. It doesn't need to be super tight because it does lock into a channel. But what we're going to do is we're going to then take this out. Obviously, like I said, it's nighttime now, so I'm going to take this out tomorrow and see if the cruise control works. It should be all good. If not, I'm going to be left with replacing the actual steering column, turn signal, and combination of the cruise control. So hopefully not having to get into that, but this was a little bit of a job just because I had that broken wire. But again, it is doable. Like I said, I got the part for 32 bucks. It's an AC Delco factory GM part, and you know, I don't have to pay somebody $300 to get up under here and fix this for me. So it is possible to fix it for yourself, and I'll get back to you tomorrow, and we're going to test this out and see if everything's working fine. So hang in there. All right, so when I last left you, I had an issue with the connector. The one pin was had come out for the cruise control, which was the green wire. What I had to do is go online and order a new connector. These are not factory or anything that has to be ordered through the dealership. You can get these online. You can get them as cheap as 20 bucks. The only thing is that they do come with all white wires, so you just have to be careful when you're cutting out the wires. It's pretty easy though. If you look at the clip here, okay, again, mine's a 6-pin. You can see this is a 6-pin. The clip only goes one way, so the wires are going to go in this way, and you can see that they're labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F. So it should be pretty easy to connect up. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get under the dash, get the old one cut out, we'll get this new one put in, see if that fixes the problem. If not, then I'm going to be looking at probably a shifter handle. Alright, so as you can see, the new connector is wired in. I'm trying to give you the best view possible underneath the dash. I do believe in connecting the wires directly with butt connectors. I don't believe in twisting the wires together or using screw caps or just electrical tape. You got to remember you are dealing with a brake system. So after I took a test drive, first and foremost, some safety information before you take a test drive. Please set your emergency brake before you even take your vehicle out onto the road. Okay, test your brakes first, and then slowly go down the road. Test your brakes on a slow stop and then a hard stop. Make sure that that electrical connection is tight so that it's working properly. Unfortunately, the new connector and fixing that pin and loose wire did not work. So it's going to end up being the actual turn signal plus the cruise control. So I'm going to have to end up replacing that. But we did end up replacing the brake switch. We did find that broken wire. We got a new connector all wired up in there. And like I said, just make sure your connections are tight. I prefer butt connectors just because it's a direct connection. I'm going to go ahead and tape them up and then wire tie them up underneath the dash so they're not in the way. So I just wanted to give you a conclusion to this, but it does look like, again, we're going to be replacing this piece, and you can find videos online for that. So at least we got some new parts in there. Again, it is an 07, so I'm sure we probably needed it. And, you know, we tried to fix something as simple as possible, one step at a time. I only have, you know, roughly about 45 bucks into it, so would have cost a lot more at the dealer. All right, I hope this helps everybody in any situation, and you can feel free to reach out and comment. Thanks for watching.